Now, it's Shannon here, Pinnacle Health in Sydney, New South Wales. I wanted to share with you a few very quick herbs on breathing. Lack of breathing can get very scary, particularly when it's a child. What are the type of conditions that a Western person might label a breathing condition? Well, we've all heard of asthma, we've all heard of COPD, we've all heard of many things that we could go with, but I'm not here to put an infinite number of labels on things. With these short, informal videos, we're simply here just to suggest a few herbs that will help. So I don't have my magic whiteboard with me. This is PowerPoint. So just quickly, you've got your esophagus and your trachea, people, different pronunciations, different parts of the world, behind each other. One's the food pipe, one's the air pipe. So we've taken away the food pipe here, we've just got the air pipe. Now, you can see there's two ways you can breathe. Now, you can see in this picture how big the sinus cavity is. Now, what happens when we can't breathe through the sinus cavity? We breathe through the mouth as a backup. Newborns can't breathe through the mouth. This can become very problematic. This is another video. I'm not an expert in pediatrics by any means, but anatomy specifically of growth. But we can go there, specifically how children and infants grow. But you can see the mouth is a backup, and look how small this is. That's what we all tend to breathe through the mouth, particularly at night, which can cause weaknesses, particularly when the tongue and the lower jaw comes back and crowds the airway. This is a bit more dentistry. Comes through the trachea. Then you've got your bronchioles, bronchi. Bronchi means two, like plural. Probably heard that before, like fungi, more than one with that I on the end. And then it comes into your right lung, where you've got 3 lobes, and your left lung's only got 2 lobes. This picture's not doing it justice because your heart sits around here, which is why your left lung doesn't have as many lobes. So the heart was there. Now, what facilitates gas exchange of oxygen is called alveoli. These are the little sacs that clog with the 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes, in shisha. And without getting too technical on you, I don't like to use words that people misunderstand. I like to use very two-cent language if I can. But the trachea or the trachea, you can see here, you'll see 3 words. You've got bronchi, bronchioles, and then you've got bronchioles. See how they're spelled different? So the tubes basically go through a series of pipes that are different sizes, and you'll see that they're labeled different anatomical terms depending on their size. So I hope that's not too technical, just trying to keep my language simple. So what happens when the bronchioles spasm, when the lungs aren't strong, when the diaphragm, the muscle that actually controls the lungs, is not strong enough for us to breathe? Well, there's a few herbs that I want to run you through very quickly. This is a draft PowerPoint presentation that I was doing. So I just wanted to go over a few herbs with you that you may or may not have heard of. So let's just crack right in here. Okay, this is a draft PowerPoint that I'm doing that I just thought I'd share with you. So I'll share with you, say, 5 quick herbs you can do for breathing. The first 2 are the type of things you'd have to speak to a doctor, healthcare professional, get on iHerb if it's appropriate. The first one's called goldenrod. You can see, I don't know how well it's picked up on the camera, but you can see the golden flowers. When they date botany or nature, they think flowering plants are the newest ones that are on Earth. But the goldenrod is used, I can't write on this, is used for the kidneys and used for the lungs. So this is one thing that a lot of herbalists will think of as kind of being kidney herbs. They actually make rubber from this plant, but don't let that put you off. That is one herb for the lungs, and we're going to go deep into this another time. Another herb that is absolutely wonderful is a herb called mullein. A lot of these herbs that soothe the lungs have something called mucilage. Some people call this mullein, M-U-L-L-E-I-N. I say it the way some Americans say it, mullein. And you'll see these leaves here that they use, they're quite mucilage. Now, goldenrod and mullein, I want to go very deep on another time. Mullein, I can't really draw, but there's a herb called devil's claw that they use for soft tissue injury. The active ingredient devil's claw is also in mullein. So I think of it when I deal with people that I'm using herbs as being mild tissue building for the lungs. But check with your doctor, healthcare practitioner. This is something that was popular all during the pandemic, all during COVID. Elderberry and elderflower. I prefer the flower. Berries can be a little bit sugar rich, but most naturopaths and herbalists love the berry. They love the taste of it. You'll see probably 90% of them use the berry. You'll see this in over-the-counter cough mixtures all the time. It tastes amazing. Look how strong this plant is. Look at these flowers. So that's the elder plant. That's something that you may see. So that's 3 quick ones. The last 2, mint. I don't think of it as primarily being a lung herb. There's modern day peppermint was adapted from the spearmint and from field mint, and they bred peppermint. Too much peppermint can actually open the esophageal sphincter muscle that I talked about earlier, but particularly mint oil. I've actually done it with people and not appreciated the effect. But there's a whole family in nature, being the mint family, and mint, we get menthol from it, makes things hot and cold. Now this is something that you might have in your kitchen. Thyme. This might be the highlight of the whole video. Thyme is, I think of thyme as being a wonderful antiparasitic. I love it. You can look at a lot of studies around it. It's part of the mint family. A lot of the mint family put out volatile oils. These volatile oils at room temperature kind of evaporate. And that's why sage, oregano, thyme, mint, they have this smell. So thyme is used in some old school herbal formulas as a